Roland Emmerich, we gotta talk. Yo, what is up, my Cinedroids? G to the S here. Today, I'm going to be tearing apart one of the worst iterations of the Japanese monster brought straight to French for this movie's sake, Godzilla 1998. The story? During a nuclear test, the French government inadvertently mutates a lizard nest. Years later, a giant lizard makes its way to New York City. No shocker there. Dr. Niko Tatopolous, played shockingly by Simba from The Lion King himself, Matthew Broderick, an expert on the effects of radiation on animals, is sent by the US government to study the beast. When the creature, dubbed Godzilla by news outlets for some odd reason, emerges, a massive battle with the military begins. To make matters worse, Niko discovers that Godzilla has laid a nest of at least 200 eggs, which are ready to hatch. Okay, now we've gone straight from Godzilla to Jurassic Park for reasons I have yet to know. Sony, mainly TriStar Pictures, what the hell were you thinking when you put this out there? Let me start off by saying that the script for this movie, in terms of its plot on what this film's clearly about, I'm telling you, it's a straight up copy and paste version of Steven Spielberg's work back in '93. No wonder Toho Studios was furious about your version of Godzilla, Roland Emmerich. Not only was your direction coaching ineffective and uninspired whatsoever, but when it comes to the screenplay of the film, which is the main focal point of that movie, I'll get to that in a bit, but it's like you were watching an hour of that movie and you said to yourself, what if I make Godzilla like that? Yeah, that's it. Not only will I make a movie about a giant destructive lizard that destroys Manhattan, but I'm gonna make plot points that are from Jurassic Park, and people will totally know the difference between these two films. What could possibly go wrong? Easy answer. Everything. Get it through your thick dome of yours, dude. The way Steven Spielberg did the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, he took his time and he studied how dinosaurs function, how they live, what types of weakness they have, and how they produce the eggs when Alan Grant, Sam Neill's character, discusses about how dinosaurs produce their eggs asexually. I won't go into too much detail on that subject, because not only will it confuse you, but this review will take super long with discussions about Dinosaur Egg Science. So for now, let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff about this lizard crap stench. This movie has none of the magic, none of the charm, and none of that well-executed mix of both humor and emotion that I wanted from this movie. And the fact that you decided to put 3 voice actors from The Simpsons in this movie just to say, hey, we're making this a comedy as well, didn't help whatsoever. Mainly the voice of Kent Brockman, the voice of Mo Sislak, and the voice of Bart Simpson. Sure, it got people talking about it, I'll give you that, but I feel like they're just phoning in their lines so that they can get a paycheck after they're done shooting the scene. Now sure, you may disagree with me on that, but I still think it's poor casting on their part. Whatever, fight me. I especially thought Matthew Broderick was completely wasted in this movie. In terms of character development, all he was casted to do was be a nerd with glasses and just spew out a lot of sciencey stuff that none of us understand. I mean, I get it, you know a lot about science, especially when it comes to earthworms. But can you at least make your theories simple enough for me to know what you're talking about? It's almost like he's speaking gibberish or something. Also, the actress that plays Niko's girlfriend, Audrey, played by Maria Patillo, all she served in this movie was to be his generic love interest, just so that both Niko and Audrey can be together. And I'm just sitting there face palming and thinking to myself, Sony, come on now. Do we even need this subplot to begin with? The end result is that both of these characters are so generic and cookie cutter. That's all I have to say about it. Moving on. Also, sure, I get that in the late 90s, CGI was still an experiment, but all I'm asking for is just to put some effort into the CGI effects. Especially when it comes to Godzilla himself, but my gosh! They took no time and effort into it whatsoever. Even the design on him was nothing like the original Godzilla that Toho actually created. Now, I heard they made his design look better in the animated series that came after this movie, but we'll see. Time will tell once I watch it, which I do own on DVD, so stay tuned for my review of that soon. But so far, for what I saw in this movie, the CG looked horrible. Now, if I have anything good to say about this movie, there's not that much to offer. But I will say that when it comes to the film's action sequences, it's okay to look at. The military scenes where they start firing at him, which I don't get why they made Godzilla a villain in the first place. But that's a discussion for another time. But I thought they look, at the very least, passable. Even some of the movie's practical effects when it comes to the buildings collapsing looks really cool, at least. Even right down to the camera work and cinematography in this movie. The camera's very still, and I get the chance to see what's happening without getting a headache from having the camera shake so much all the time. But that still does not save this movie from becoming a piece of giant lizard turd. And at the end of the day, even though some of the pros are still in here, the countless upon countless amount of cons outweigh the pros when it comes to this movie. And as a result, I rate Godzilla 1998 1.5 stars out of 5. Don't even bother wasting your time with this movie. There are other Godzilla movies out there that are way better than this. Even the newer Godzilla movies are better. Watch those instead. So Godzilla 1998. You've seen it, right? Well, let me know in the comments what movie based off a beloved franchise that you can think of that's way worse than this. I would love to see what you guys can come up with down below this review. Go wild and get creative. But if you like this video and you want to see some more, make sure that like button shines in your face. That'll totally help me out a ton. Also, share it with your family and friends and favorite it. That's a very good way to show support for this review. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell right next to you so you can be notified of future videos that I have in store for you. Also, if you want a shout out in a future video, just follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and I will choose one of my Synodroids to be displayed as a shout out. The link's in the description below. And also, I'm working on a TikTok account for you guys where I do whistle covers and I do duets with my sister every once in a while. So if you guys are interested, the link's down below in this review. And also, if you want to subscribe to my gaming channel, there's either a link in the description or at the icon card in the top right corner of your screen. Go over there, subscribe, and let's just have fun together. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out.